In this video, I'll give an overview and demonstration of a piece of vintage test equipment, the Heathkit IM-2215 Portable Digital Multimeter. A multimeter is a device which can measure multiple electrical values, typically voltage, current, and resistance. A simple type of multimeter is the volt-ohm milliamp meter, or VOM, which uses an analog meter, switchable series and parallel resistances, and an internal power source, usually a battery, to measure these three electrical units in various ranges. An improvement over the VOM is the vacuum tube voltmeter, or VTVM. It uses a bridge circuit and a vacuum tube as an amplifier. With this design, the meter does not need to be powered by the circuit under test, allowing the input resistance to be much higher. By the 1970s, digital electronics made it feasible to make measurements and directly display them as digits using LEDs or LCDs. These digital multimeters, or DMMs, are standard today, and low-cost units can accurately measure voltage, current, resistance, and often also other units such as temperature, frequency, and capacitance. Heathkit was a manufacturer of electronics in kit form. Their product line included amateur radio, test equipment, and various consumer products. By building a piece of electronics, you could save money and gain the satisfaction of having assembled it yourself. The Heathkit IM-2215 is a portable, battery-operated, handheld digital multimeter that was offered from 1979 through 1984. It retailed for $94.95 in 1979, roughly equivalent to $300 in today's dollars. A factory-assembled and calibrated version, the SM-2215, was also available at higher cost. It features a 3.5-digit LCD display and can measure resistance and AC and DC voltage and current. It's not auto-ranging, but does have auto polarity, auto decimal point, and leading zero suppression. The LCD display can indicate overrange and low battery conditions. It can operate for up to 200 hours on a standard 9-volt battery. An optional external power adapter was also available. It came with a set of test leads, and the case has a built-in pivoting stand. There was an optional leather case, and it could be used with Heathkit's high voltage and RF probes. The blue color case is similar in style to Heathkit's other instruments of the time. A 1982 Canadian Heathkit catalog lists the IM-2215 at $199.95 and the factory-assembled SM-2215 at $279.95. The AC adapter was $9.95 and the leather case was $29.95. Let's take a look at the unit in operation. As well as a power switch, controls include 8 push-button switches to select the function and range. The unit can be operated while held in one hand. There are 3 banana-type jacks, a common lead, and inputs for current and voltage resistance. It's fuse and diode protected against overloads. A jack on the upper right allows it to be powered by an external power supply rather than the internal battery. To operate, the unit is first turned on. The top switch selects between DC and AC measurements. The bottom switch selects between current or voltage measurements or resistance measurements. To measure voltage, the test leads are connected to COM and volt ohms, and the mode set to milliamp/voltage. To measure resistance, the test leads are connected to COM and volt ohms, and the mode set to ohms. To measure current, the test leads are connected to COM and milliamps, and the mode set to milliamp/voltage. Then the range switch is set to the appropriate range. Resistance is supported over 6 ranges, voltage in 5 ranges, and current in 4 ranges. It's recommended to start with the highest range if the value of the input voltage or current is not known. Here we can see inside the unit with the front cover removed. Circuitry is on a single printed circuit board and includes 5 transistors, 4 integrated circuits, an LCD display module, and some discrete components. Most of the functionality is handled by an ICL7106, a 40-pin MOS LSI digital multimeter chip that incorporates dual slope A to D conversion and the LCD display driver circuitry. To simplify calibration, the meter includes an internal voltage reference that it can be calibrated against without any instruments. It can also be calibrated against an external reference if one is available for improved accuracy. The internal calibration procedure is summarized on a label inside the meter. I picked up this unit at a garage sale in 2009 for around $5, a deal I couldn't pass up. It came with test leads but no manual. However, I found a partial manual from the internet. In summary, the IM-2215 is quite comparable to today's DMMs. It lacks auto-ranging and facilities like measuring capacitance that many modern meters offer. There are also modern DMMs that are much lower in cost than this unit was, although I would rate it as more rugged and better protected than some of the low-cost units on the market today. Because the calibration procedure is documented in the manual, this unit can also be kept accurate even though it is over 30 years old. The IM-2215 is one of the pieces of test equipment described in my new book, Classic Heathkit Electronic Test Equipment. The book covers Heathkit's test equipment, starting with a brief history of Heathkit, an overview of the test equipment product lines, and tips on buying and restoring vintage test equipment from sources like eBay. Separate chapters cover the major categories of component testers and substitution boxes, frequency counters, meters, oscilloscopes, power supplies, signal generators, tube testers and checkers, and miscellaneous test equipment. Each chapter includes one or more in-depth sections that look at a representative model from my Heathkit collection, covering its features, operation, and notable quirks or trivia. The appendix provides a list of references and resources including books, websites, and suppliers of parts manuals and related products and services, as well as a detailed product listing of every known model of test equipment produced by Heathkit. The book's available from lulu.com and retails for $19.95. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other YouTube videos on vintage amateur radio and test equipment.